so that we can develop a sense of unity with every person. And the more negative, the better. Because then, really, we're moving on. Really, we're getting there. That we're able to accept and love even that person with all of his negativity. Again, I'm not trying to create guilt, because I'm not there yet. And I have to feel guilty myself to be able to, that we're not there yet. But to create the goal, to have that goal in our mind, and that as a frame of reference, that I want to arrive there. And if there's anyone, and do it now, because I've seen so many people who have guilt when someone who they haven't fixed their relationship with dies. And now they believe it's too late. It can be done after death through meditation and internal processes to fix your relationship with someone who's left. But many people don't feel comfortable with that. So it's better, whoever you feel that you don't have an open, clear, loving relationship, communicate with that person. He could leave tomorrow. You could leave tomorrow from the planet. And not to leave these, you say, ekremotistan vika. Unfinished business. Unfinished business. So, this is also happens, this lesson today happens to fall a week before Easter, which is a time in which we're reminded of the crucifixion and the resurrection of Christ, the crucifixion of the ego, and the resurrection of the spirit. And it may be an opportune time, because it's a family time, to get together with persons with whom there may be some remaining negative feelings, and try to employ what we heard today, putting ourselves in his position, separating the person from his actions, from his behavior, sending him light and love, thinking of five positive things about that person, having an open discussion with him or her, trying to clarify our relationship more clearly. That's today's lesson, overcoming negative emotions through understanding and through knowledge, through wisdom. Any questions on today's message? Ferris.
I have a question on one of the last things that you said about the good thing in a negative person.
Yeah.
Which I understand. I was wondering how you would go to combine the two needs that you need. On one hand, supportive people. I mean, groups that would affirm what you're trying to do, that they're supportive, but also to keep in mind that negative people can be, a source of also inspiration.
Yeah.
In other words, how do you not lose track of?
You try. Now there are two categories of people, as I mentioned earlier. The one category is those to whom we have a dharmic commitment or a karmic commitment, which are children, parents, siblings, and spouse. So in these cases, if they're negative, we don't have much choice. We can't leave them. In the case of friends and company that we want to keep, social contacts, we have every freedom to rearrange our social contacts and keep company with people who support us spiritually in this process. And also we have every right to participate in growth groups, spiritual groups, psychology groups of every nature, and so that we find that support in those groups. Those groups are like the school, or rather as we have here, the tutors, or the frontisterio, and the life itself is the lesson. So we go to those groups in order to take our strength and our clarity, but the real lessons are in relationship with those persons. We don't need to seek out company of negative persons. There's no need to do that. If we have the need to have contact with negativity, it will be given to us. So it's not something we can seek out positive persons and positive relationships. But when that negativity comes, let's not fear it, let's not reject it, let's not condemn it. Let's try to see what we have to learn from that. So we have every right to seek out positive relationships, with the exception of that the category of dharmic relationships, which I said, which is given to us from life. From there on in, you don't need to keep company with negative persons in order to grow. It will happen by itself. Any other questions? What we said today? Okay, it came to my mind that we've been neglecting, we haven't been doing the positive projection techniques in class. I've forgotten, I think, the last 2 times. And today is an opportunity to do that, especially to work with a person whom we would like to improve our relationships. So if you like, take a sitting position with your spine straight, and we'll do a small relaxation before we go into our groups.